Hello, family. Breaking news. New Jersey just became the 46th state to repeal the state sales tax from the sales of precious metals. What does that mean? That means 46th state now of New Jersey has reclaimed using gold and silver as money. This is exciting news because that only leaves Maine, Vermont, New Mexico, and Hawaii as states that have not yet reclaimed silver and gold as money. So they are slated to do the same this year. Now, when you repeal or remove the state sale tax from selling precious metals, in essence, what you're doing is acknowledging gold and silver as money, and you're aligning with the Constitution for our republic. Now, Article 1, Section 10 of our republic states that the only thing that can be used to pay off debts are silver and gold. And we also know that the Constitution defines the dollar as a fixed weight in silver. But we had some of our representatives or lawmakers from Georgia, from who else? From West Virginia and another state to introduce different legislations or different bills to define the dollar as a fixed weight in gold. We had Alexander Mooney in 2018 to introduce Rep. Bill 5404. Then we had him in 2021 to introduce House Resolution 9157, and he called that the Gold Standard Restoration Act. And then he came back in 2022 and in 2023 with Andy Briggs and Paul Gosar to introduce House Resolution 2435, and he called that the Gold Standard Restoration Act as well. And all three of those bills were to define the dollar as a fixed weight in gold. So we see different states and lawmakers actually utilizing their power and their sovereignty to make changes. And this is why I always say, family, you don't have to wait on a president. You don't have to wait on the government or a federal government, Federal Reserve, or anybody outside of yourself to do anything for your best interest. As a matter of fact, according to the 10th Amendment, states have more power than the federal government. The states can overrule federal governments. So the federal government really doesn't have any power. It just exerts itself as power because it's not really a government. It's not really federal. It is just a group of bloodline families that usurped authority, stole authority over our republic, which is our lawful government. They incorporated themselves in 1871 and established themselves as a religious nonprofit organization, created their own constitution, by the way, called the Constitution of the United States Incorporated. But that constitution is really unlawful and unconstitutional according to the Constitution for our republic. And we also know that the United States Incorporated is defunct. It is bankrupt and it has been dissolved. But nevertheless, whether that had happened or not, the states have more power than the federal government. So you just need to operate and work at the local level. I need to do that. We have power. We keep looking for leaders outside of ourselves instead of looking for the leader that's within us. We keep searching for a savior, but you are the savior for which you've been looking. You are the savior for whom you've been looking, and I am the savior for whom I've been looking. So then we don't have to search any further. We can operate within ourselves, going within, trying to, or not trying, but actually uncovering what it is, the messages that we need to hear from our highest self and from the God that's within, and also utilizing the power that's within to create change. You can command change and you can work at the state level. So back to the 46th state reclaiming silver and gold as money. We know now that most states had created legislation to actually use gold or deem gold as a commodity, and they were only following suit with the Federal Reserve because once we had come off of the gold standard, then the Federal Reserve and their central banking system could acknowledge gold as a commodity, which then meant that we utilize or recognize gold as a collector's item or a collectible, just like a trading card. And when you have a gold as a trading card or a collectible, then you can put taxes on them. But that's going against the Constitution. The Constitution says silver and gold are money, and it's unlawful to tax money. So these bloodline families, this Federal Reserve, this federal government was operating out of the realms of the Constitution for our republic. Now, though, you have legislators that are removing state sales taxes as well as getting rid of capital gains tax. So not only can you not tax the sales of precious metals, but you can't tax people that have precious metals. You can't bum rush their houses and steal their money or put taxes upon them. So we see so many things happening at the state level, family. I just wanted to come on and let you know that things are changing. Now you can use silver and gold as money, and You see states issuing out gold backs or gold RM notes. The latest state to do that was the state of Florida. They had first, at the end of December, announced that they were conducting a study to determine if it would be a good idea for Florida to actually use gold as money. And when that announcement came out or that article came out, I said, look, family, we are really in a good place. If you are Floridian, I told the family when I did my podcast on the Dr. Kia Pruitt Show, streaming on YouTube, Rumble, and X, formerly known as Twitter, as well as Facebook and Instagram. I said, look, family, what that means when they say we're going to conduct a study to see if it's viable for us to use gold and silver as money, then what they are saying in essence is we're moving towards gold and silver as money. I made that announcement at the end of December. I said, look for other announcements to come out very, very soon that will say we are using gold and silver as money in the state of Florida. I kid you not. 1 week later, an announcement was made that Florida was creating their new gold RM notes, which we also call go backs. And at that time, on December the 31st, they said that you can actually put your name on a waiting list. So if you want a Florida gold back RM note, you can go to jmbullion.com. You can go to sdbullion.com. You can go to metalsmint.com. You can go to many different online dealers and actually at that time put your name on a waiting list and get those gold backs. Well, the gold backs were now issued out as of January the 15th. So this is great news, family, because we surpassed the 15th. We're at January the 22nd here today or this evening. So you can actually get a Florida gold back note. Now, you may ask yourself, what is a gold RM note? What is a gold back? It is a 14 karat gold note or 14 carats of gold pressed onto a note. And some of the notes are 24 carats pressed onto a note. So this is real gold, family. And some of those gold backs are as little, you can get them as little as $2.62 per note. Real gold, real 14 karat gold pressed onto a note. This gold is 0.999 pure gold, and you can use it to buy local goods and services. Not only does Florida have gold backs, but many other states do. In fact, when I did the first podcast about states returning to gold and silver as money, we already had 13 states at the time. Can you see how far we've come? In 2020, there were only 13 states that were utilizing silver and gold as legal tender to buy local goods and services. And now we have 46 states. Oh my gosh, it didn't matter who was president because it doesn't matter who's president. They are presidents of the United States Incorporated. That corporation is dead. It's defunct. And even if it were still operating, it has no lawful authority over you. You still have power. Even back then, before President Trump became the president the first time, because some of those states start actually legalizing gold and silver as legal tender as early as 2011 and even before that. So we just didn't know that you can use silver and gold to buy local goods and services. But all merchants recognize silver and gold as money, and that's why it's a good idea to have gold backs on hand, especially since they're inexpensive. And it's a good idea to have constitutional silver, which is silver coins that were minted before we came off the gold standard or minted before 1964. Those silver coins, actually known as constitutional silver or junk silver, erroneously known by, have 90% silver in them. So constitutional silver is affordable for many people. Gold backs or gold RM notes are affordable for many people. Also, sterling silver has 92% silver. So there is a way to get silver and gold, family, but you don't have to concern yourself if it's not in your budget. We're all moving back to silver and gold as money. So I just wanted to encourage you today, family, to know that so much is happening behind the scenes. We're in a great place. And if, and again, you don't want to wait on a president or a government to do anything for you, operate and work at the state level or the local level. Because again, according to the 10th Amendment, the states have more authority than the federal government, and states may operate and continue to operate in their sovereignty, in their independence. Okay, you may have to be one of the ones that actually push that forward and bring that to the people's attention. So it's my great pleasure to bring that information to you today and to let you know we only have 4 more states in America again to recognize gold and silver and as money. in alignment with the Constitution for our republic. Again, those states are New Mexico, Hawaii, Vermont, and Maine. So here we go, family, moving towards the gold standard, as well as the BRICS bloc and the Shanghai Corporation, meaning those Asian nations in the eastern part of the hemisphere have done the same. That's the Shanghai Corporation. And the BRICS bloc, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and all the African nations, all of the Southeastern nations, all of the Asian nations, and all the nations all over the world just about has joined BRICS. So we see them all moving towards gold, and you know the same is happening in America. So stay encouraged, keep your vibrations high, and know that things are happening behind the scenes. Nobody has more power than you and me. You are the leader for whom you've been searching, and you are the savior for whom you've been looking. My name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. I hope I've said something to raise your vibrations and inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire and deserve. Go out, family, and sleep well. And if you're watching this during the day, go out and make this a great day as we usher in a new golden reality. Now, remember, gold will be used as money as well as silver. And what that means for you and me is we will now be enjoying prosperity and wealth and abundance. And when you are on the gold standard, your money goes further, your buying power is greater, and we will return to the times that we were utilizing or experiencing before we came off of the gold standard. So what that means in essence and in summary is we're going to go back towards pre 1971 era of prices. So you're going to experience lower prices, more buying power, and a stronger currency. So take that information, family, do it what you will, and know that everything's working on your behalf. If you are interested in those coins, or what they're calling digital assets or digital coins, but you're still concerned about the government being able to access them, then hey, protect it through your wallets. And then once you know your money goes up in value, then take those digital coins and invest it in hard assets such as silver and gold and precious metals, or a business or real estate. So that's about it, family. I hope to see you soon. Talk to you tomorrow. Peace. Good night.